someone maybe from the hospital or some of their staff, someone that's qualified, I mean, I got no problem if we have to pay for that, but we just need to make sure we handle it legally correctly. So on that matter, to Supervisor Trainer, what you had mentioned, all the county, all the buildings and public buildings, businesses,
Gathering places.
Public gathering.
churches. What about church?
Well, they gonna automatically follow up on that.
Okay, churches.
Most of the ones I know, they haven't gone back.
They're
to
doing
church.
it, yeah.
Now, there are a few that have,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it still would behoove them, I think, to implement the mask ordinance. If they haven't already, I think most of them have this.
Yeah. I know First Baptist is distance out and wearing masks during the service, you know. So that would be churches, businesses, social gatherings that are more than, even if it's outside, more than the, you know, what the state's requirement is, and I think it's 100 people. It may be down to 20 again, but it changes constantly.
And I know Rob's not here, so I don't know what kind of the number that this is in.
He's not watching on YouTube, so he's not.
And I think that's within our legal purview to do that. I mean,
So I guess, just expound on it a little bit, is gonna be the requirement of that business owner to make sure that their establishment is a mask, you know, people are wearing masks.
at their business, at the business itself.
Yeah, the business owner, because like Sheriff said, you know, I walk into a business and I see somebody without a mask, I pick up the phone and call the sheriff department. I'm in this X business and this person doesn't have a mask. That's gonna overwhelm him. But I think what we need to do is put the onus on the business owner and let him know it's a possibility that he might be fined if you know, he has a bunch of people in his business, maskless people in his businesses. I don't, you know.
Well, yeah, because you're up in the exposure to your customers.
Right. If we enact countywide mask policy, then businesses in Octavia County gotta know that means that their business has to require masks, you know, so that's.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I wish we didn't have to employ any of this, but, you know, safety's first. And so, as bad as I hate to say it, yeah, you're probably gonna have to make it to where because the customer comes in expecting a safe environment to shop in, and then, you know, just as much as the business owner expects customers to come in and keep them safe as well. So I think it's a two-way street on this. I think if you're gonna require one, you need to require one. So I think it's a good idea to make it for the business owner and to clarify that, yeah. As bad as I hate that, you know, because of civil liberties, etc., I think we need to make it the customer and the owner and his employees wear them for the time being.
Well, I'm confused. Okay, the customers, the business, and the employees all have to wear a mask?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but in our courthouses, our employees don't have to wear a mask?
Yes, they will be.
We do.
I say we do.
They want to require it.
I know there's been some pushback on that, but,
Yeah.
you know, it's gonna be some pushback if someone's relative gets sick and dies of it too.
If we're in our own office, and we don't have anybody else in there, do we have to have a mask, or do we put it on when somebody comes in?
No. If no one is in there but you shouldn't have to wear a mask.
However, if I come over to the office, like I've been
If
to
someone come in,
do whatever, I need to have a mask on to come over. That's what I'm saying. I've been coming over there.
If we get together, I need to put my mask
Right.
on too.
right, if someone come in, then you put your mask.
I got you, thank you.
Okay. Same thing with the businesses in the
And
county.
even with the road department, which I'm sure they've already been taking some precautions, I'm assuming.
Yeah, a lot of them are wearing their masks, but let's make it where they're all wearing their masks.
Okay, who is voting on this?
I need a motion and a second.
I just have one observation. I know, Chad, we can't put that on you to, police those businesses and make sure that, those individuals wear a mask. But most people are gonna cooperate while they're shopping if they ask them not come in without a mask on, most individuals gonna cooperate.
I hope so.
But there are some that not gonna cooperate and gonna be a problem. Do you have enough staff to address those
Well-
uncooperative individuals that not cooperating with the rules and regulation of the business?
Well, I mean, it just depends on how busy we are. You know, if they're all on the call, and somebody calls, I mean, that's gonna be a low priority. And we're gonna finish what we doing before we send somebody out there, and probably the time we get there, they're gonna be gone anyway. But, you know, I just don't wanna get to the point where all we do is staying in stores, policing mask wear. Because, I mean, then we do that, and I got 450 miles of county, and I don't have anybody in county because we at Dollar General or the store or wherever, policing the mask wear.
So they might have to take a picture of the person and make a report
Well,
later, make a
I
report
mean, is there
later.
gonna be a fine, and you gonna put a fine on them if they don't do it? I mean, are they gonna, I mean, what's the repercussions of it if they don't do it?
And I was thinking, you know, again, you can't stand at every business and say, and there might not be anybody fine about this,
Right.
you know, cause I'm sure there's gonna be some violators. But I think they need to know that it is a possibility
Right.
that they might be fined if somebody happened to spot check or something like that, you know. You gotta put some teeth in it, somewhere,
Right, sure do.
you know.
But it's gonna be awful hard for us.
It absolutely.
It's gonna be extremely hard for us to do that.
But maybe it'll entice some people to put more effort into trying, you know, help us out with what we're trying to do. It's not that we're trying to make people infringe upon their rights and things. We're just trying to do what we can, do our part to help curb this thing.
Well, when we took office, the first thing that they tell us as a county supervisor in any elected position is that you do everything that you can to provide safety to this county. So it's like Supervisor Howard, it's like what I said earlier. I wish we didn't have to do any of this, you know, but at the same time, we must, to be quite honest with you. I will add one thing to this, is what I'm getting from the CDC. It says that any child that's under 2, or anyone who has trouble breathing, is unconscious, incapacitated, or otherwise unable to remove the mask without assistance. There's kind of some muddy water there, saying that they are not required to wear a mask. However, I would like to think anybody in that category would have someone that could come and help them pay their taxes, et cetera, et cetera. If they don't, I think our tax assessor and their office has done a great job of making it where you have kind of curbside service. So that's still available to anyone who's uncomfortable with coming in. But especially if I would highly encourage someone that falls into that category to use curbside service. Someone's come out, take your check, your money, what have you, make your payment, come back out with your tag. So, you know, if there's a child that's under 2 years old, by all means go around the back of the courthouse. Like you can't breathe, you don't feel comfortable with a mask. This gives an option, you know, to not have to come up into the courthouse. Now, as far as private businesses are concerned, I'm sure with the small businesses we have out in the county, you know, I would like to say so, that they would, you know, help you out if you can't come in. So, I mean, these are some difficult times, but like the Supervisor Trainer says, if we're gonna do it for everything. You know, somebody can catch it at the Dollar General in Longview just as quick as they can catch it here, anywhere else for that matter. So, let's add that to the guideline, you know, that what the CDC recommends. Is anyone under 2, you can't, you know, if you're low oxygen, which that's you know, people who are on the O2, you know, this right here ups your carbon dioxide that you're breathing back in, so it, even a healthy person, it's gonna, you know, it'll make your carbon dioxide go in, so I mean, but someone like that, I mean, I'd say give them an option, but at the same time encourage, let's handle our business outside of the, you know, county-owned buildings. But, to that, I need a motion and a second to approve this.
So moved.
Got a motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Williams. Any more discussion on the matter? If not, all those in favor? Okay, motion four, and Supervisor Miller is via Zoom.
I guess the only thing we didn't add to that is what the fine is.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, sir.
The fine was $1,000 back when people were, when they weren't adhering to it. I don't have a problem adding that to it, but you'll maybe see what it's like. This is almost a trial run between now and the next meeting. I mean, because quite honestly, it's gonna take a minute to get out there in the county and, you know, to Maven, to Sturgis, to Longview, to Adenton, to the Osborne communities. But I'm sure it'll hit the paper in the morning.
Maybe, you know, maybe first.
Possible fine, you can say, you know, possible fines.
Yeah, first time warning and then.
Yeah, the first time warning, and then after that,
Yeah, first,
you know, if you,
first
if
week.
you, yeah, if you jeopardize the public,
Yeah.
you know, health and safety, you can certainly be held accountable, no different than if you're off a permitted route in the county.
Well, I think those individuals who defy the order, who say, I'm just not gonna wear a mask, I'm gonna shop anyway. Those individuals, in my opinion, should be fined.
Yeah,
If you can't get them to leave the building, and they're gonna walk around in the building without a mask and defy the order, then a fine should be attached to that type of person.
can we attach a fine, well, we can go ahead and attach a fine to that order if you want to. You wanna say, first time warning, you wanna say the second time 500, and after that, the third time 1,000.
Sounds good to me.
So let's do that, let's attach to that board order. Need a motion and a second. The first is a warning, second 500, third time's 1,000. Motion by Supervisor Howard, second by
Second.
Supervisor.
Okay, all right, 500, third, 1,000.
First time is a warning, second time 500, third time's 1,000.
Okay, all right, so if we got somebody that goes into a store and they don't have a mask on and they inside the city limits, who gets caught?
I don't think it's.
It's out,
It's
it's outside of the
This
city.
is outside the city limits.
Yes,
The
ma'am, the city,
business owner.
yeah, I can't,
The business owners get fined.
Yes.
I think the business owner has to help enact this
Okay,
policy.
okay, now.
Because part of what it does is, you might have some business owners that want to have some sort of mask policy. But at this point, there's nothing legally that they can deny a person. But right now, you know, with this being passed, if I'm a business owner, I can say, well, okay, excuse me, sir, ma'am, there's a mask policy in the county, and in order for you to come in, you need to have a mask on. There are some business owners that won't be able to say that, you know. There are some that's not too keen on the idea, but again, you know, we're just in time to what we've got to do.
yeah, we got to, and then and also you can refuse business to those people if they don't.
Yeah,
wear
if they
a mask.
don't come, yeah.
Sheriff, want to address that, I wanna know who should be fined, should the business be fined, or should the person who's entering the building be fined?
I'm sorry to bring this to the table, but.
Well, I mean, here's the deal too, you said a $500 fine on the second. Is that up to $500, or the justice court judge is shall fine a $500? You know, most of it, on most of these, it's up to $1,000, up to 500, third offense, well, that would be up to that. but I mean, if you say $500 and they go in there, then the judge, I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Well,
See that?
I would like to
Are you
think,
gonna give the judge discretion? You know, I would hate for, I know my grandson, I mean, if you take a 2 or 3 year old, it's gonna be hard for them to keep a mask on 2 year old, or 3 year old. But what you're saying is you're gonna find this person, he's fixing to get a $500 ticket the second time he doesn't have that mask on, or you're gonna say up to $500 and give the justice court judge some leeway.
You
Because I'm
talking
telling you,
individual,
sir,
are you talking individual people?
yes.
right, that's what they said, up to $500.
Yeah, but see, I was thinking business owner,
So you're gonna write the business on
the business owner, if there's a business that's just allowing people to just flood into the
Right.
business without putting a mask on, you know, you warn the business owner, hey, the county has a mask
The
on.
only problem I see with that, we fix to get covered up, because if you the business owner, this guy comes in, you didn't put a mask on, he don't, then you fix to call 911.
Well, I think, you know, I'm sorry, but you can't shop.
Yeah, unless you providing them masks, he might get there and say, look, I don't have a mask. Well, hold on a minute, I got one you can put on.
Yeah.
But I think, I think you gotta be real careful the way you do that, because if you put it on that business owner, then the second that guy walks in and don't put the mask on, he's fixing to call Chris, and
Well,
they're fixing to call us.
I know the Walmart out there, back when the mask policy was going, they had somebody standing outside. And if a person walked up to go in, they would say, well, you know, you can't come in unless you've got a mask. And, you know, person would turn around and, so, you know.
Well, I think that warning, I would think that the fine would happen when someone is just in total disregard of the law.
Just
Time after time.
And Sheriff, I'm sorry for this, but
No, that's fine, I mean, but the district court judges, you got to understand that, hey, this is I can't come in and say, okay, I'm gonna fine you $100 or $125. I mean, they fix to get fined $500, and I don't know, most folks don't have that kind of money, so now the judge is gonna have to try to.
A lot of our charges up to like $250 or up to $500, max up to $1,000.
so you wanna add into that
Up to. Then that gives the judge discretion, you know. And they always read the report, you know, to see actually what happens, you know, if you get a arrested person, they gonna give them a mask.
And that
I
report.
guess we need to determine though, are we talking fining the individual or fining the business owner?
I think the business owner, if, let's say, I own the Longview Dollar General, and you come walking through with no mask, and I say, hey, sir, we countywide mask policy. Well, you just keep on going right to the back. Sir, again, we have, and you refuse to leave, it's not on that business owner.
Right.
Because I'm coming up to you with a mask on, it's whoever is involved. But if I'm a customer and I come through with my mask on and I see the girl that's checking me out doesn't have a mask on, then it could be, I say it's the individual. It's
Okay,
not,
well, let me ask the sheriff this. If, say that scenario happens, I walk in, I don't have a mask, I'm walking through Dollar General, you as the manager or whatever says, sir, you need to have a mask on, or else you need to leave. At that point, if I don't leave, then I'm trespassing, right? So the mask policy doesn't need to kick in then, it's just the fact that you on premises now that.
I think it has to be an individual, I don't think you can find the business owner, because like John said, if I ask you 3 times and you don't do it, you just refuse to do it, I mean, why am I gonna write John a ticket?
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna have to be
it's on the individual. And, let's say it's a little college girl that's checking you out, and there's a 6'6", 300-pounder, she can't make him leave. unless she calls you.
And to be honest with you, by the time we get there, they're gonna be gone anyway. Most of them, a lot of them.
Well,
It's not easy.
nothing easy and there's nothing perfect, but we're just trying under these conditions.
However, we would fine the business owner if the business owner is not adhering to the policy.
Sure.
It's obvious that the business owner don't have anyone there at the door checking anyone or doing anything to adhere to the policy.
That's when you go and warn them the first time, and then the second time you come back.
Yeah. So the business could be fined too.
Well, if they're out of compliance, then
If
sure.
they're
I
out
think
of
it's,
compliance, yeah.
it's whoever is out of compliance, be it the customer, be it the business owner, be it the employee of the business. But if you're the guy that's checking me out at Dollar General shouldn't get the fine, it should be you, unless, like what you're saying, that, I mean, if the business is not adhering to that, but I would guarantee you put a fine on it. Most businesses, or if not all of them, are gonna adhere to it, just because the simple fact that there's a fine on it.
And here's another problem you run into, we've run into before. Especially on weekends, you got a lot of people, where you for acting when it comes to storm shopping. Well, they gonna get up here and a lot of them, they not gonna know, or somebody coming through on vacation gets off at County Ford and goes in there to buy gas from Alabama. Well, they don't have a clue that, that they have to have a mask. I mean, they just stop in to buy gas and then they going on wherever they're going. So, there's gonna be just a multitude of different scenarios that's gonna happen. People traveling through on vacation. They don't know that they gotta have a mask to run into, to buy gas and run to the restroom, whatever the case may be.
So we need to make it where those businesses post something.
Well, either that or they go, or provide masks. I mean, like I said, there's just all kinds of different, things going on, and this being a universal town where there's people in and out here every day from all over. I mean, that's, like I said, that's just no good answer, but there's just a whole lot of.
I think it's unfair to say that the business has to provide a mask, simply for the simple fact because if you come up there with no shirt on, has the business gotta give you a shirt, come in there and
That's true.
no shirt, no shoes, no service, no mask.
Right.
No shoes, no shirt, no shirt.
And I'm just saying,
No mask,
Everybody
no
got a
shirt, no
mask.
shoes, no service.
Quickmart doesn't have to give you a
I
shirt.
think most, like I said, pretty much all the businesses have a policy, a dress type policy. You can't just come in and, it's not easy, but we've gotta do something. We've gotta put something in place. And it sort of reminds me of our garbage situation. Until we finally say, listen, it's on the property owner to be responsible for this. That sort of cleared a lot of things up. Again, I think if a person walks into a business and the business owner has it posted, there's a mask, countywide mask policy, please have a mask on. And this person walks in and they ask him to leave because, I think the onus is off of the business owner then. The onus is off of that business owner, and then it rolls over to the end. Well, you're not fining this person because they don't have a mask, you fining this person because they were asked to leave and didn't leave because they were disobeying the policy.
Yeah.
You can fine them for a mask if you want, or you can fine them for trespassing, or it just, right, failure to comply then.
Right, that's right.
So that's why I say, just, all we're saying, asking the business owners is listen, please have some policy in place, something posted, to try and help us out.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking. You gonna have a knuckleheads that's just not gonna wanna do it. You ask them to leave, and if they don't leave, well, then you call.
To your point there, Marvell, and that's a great one, but do we need to add into that board order that the businesses post something? I think that way, that would vindicate them,
Yeah.
that I have notified you, and I hate to do that, but to just legally, let's add that to that board order. I know we're adding in. And like I said, we'll add the up to, 500, then up to 1,000. Like I said, and the judge, that'll give the judge some room, some room to do just that, to judge the situation.
Okay.
And I think we've got some good judges on our, and here in our county that have common sense,
Yeah.
So let's add to that board order that the businesses need to post that we have a mask policy. So,
Yeah.
I need any discussion on that? If not, I need a motion and a second to add to that. So we got a motion by Supervisor Howard, second by Supervisor Williams. Any more discussion on the matter?
When does it effective?
I'd say effective tomorrow morning, because it'd be unfair, people are already at work. Let's make it effective tomorrow morning, because to expect somebody 5 minutes after we leave here to have masks would be unfair. So, all those in favor, say aye. And good suggestions, from all around. I mean, it got brought up, centered around the table, and, I think we've hammered that out.
This is uncharted territory.
Guys, look,
Just new.
people can shoot holes in anything that you do. We're just trying to do what is required of us as supervisors, is to make as safe as possible our roadways, our bridges, in the environment that people are in the county. And Supervisor Trainer had some good thoughts, Supervisor Howard, Supervisor Williams, and I know Supervisor Miller does as well. She's not here, but just a good, overall, just a good policy to adopt for sure. I do have something from the chair. I would like to go into executive session on is dealing with security.
Wait a second.
Do what?
I don't know that we can go in executive session without an attorney.
Okay.
Security and personnel.
Well, it could be, it's a personnel issue, also, but security and personnel would be the two reasons for it. Go ahead and ask, our attorney, can we go into executive session without the attorney?
I think we've lost his connection. I think we've lost our internet connection.
Well, I think we've done that before.
We can discuss security.
It's just a personnel matter, honestly, ultimately.
Discuss personnel.
I'll make a motion that we go into executive session.
Second.
So myself made a motion, second by Supervisor Howard. Any more discussion on this? If not, all those in favor? All those in favor? The motion carries unanimous. I got you. This thing right here is hot as a firecracker.
That clock goes.
This is the only one I had in the truck. Sheriff, you kind of an oddball this morning. I got one for you in the truck if you want it. This big old this claw thing right here.